Hey gang, my name is Rick and welcome back to Let's Level Up. Today on the table we have Cryptozoic's Spyfall. Now this game is designed by Alexander Ushan. It is designed for 3 to 8 players and plays in about 15 minutes for people above 10 or higher, I'd say. In Spyfall, we're going to be deducing a secret location if we're the spy. The other players are going to try to deduce who the spy is. We'll have one location, rather, per game. So all the people who aren't spies are all secretly at the same location. Now the spy's job is going to be to try to figure out what that location is. Can they do that before they actually out themselves? There's the challenge of the game. Alexander Ushan calls this a psychological game, but it is, in normal board gaming terms, I think just another social deduction game. I say another social deduction game because I don't think Spyfall is as strong as some of the other social deduction games in the genre. There are some very, very good games in that particular genre. Spyfall is a good game. I don't necessarily know if I can compare it with some of the greats like Resistance or Werewolf, or even some of the newer games that are really, really good, like Good Cop, Bad Cop. However, this is definitely one that if you're a fan of deduction games, you should check out because it's really fun. So on my turn, we're going to basically deal the cards out, depending on equal to the number of players, from the bottom of the deck to make sure that we have a spy in there. You're going to shuffle those up. You're going to then deal one out to every player. Everybody will look at their roll card, and then you'll begin playing by something silly like whoever looks the most mischievous or something like that will ask the first question. Now, on their turn, they're actually going to take, they're going to ask somebody a question about the location that they're at. And it could be something simple like, is there water around? Now, if we are on a submarine, you can answer that question many different ways, right? You can say, we're surrounded by it. You could say, I really hope there isn't any water around. You can say a lot of different things, right? So, depending on how you answer the question, is going to give everybody who is not the spy a lot of information about you. And also, depending on what question you ask, it's going to give a lot of information about you, right? So let's say that we're on the submarine, and I ask a question about, ask a question to a player that's completely, obviously not anywhere close to it. Like, you know, what color are the animals here, or something like that, or what kind of animals would you see here? You know, that's typically not something you would see on a submarine. Now, I may either be trying to bait a spy into answering it, or I may be the spy and trying not to ask or out myself. And this is a really terrible example of that, I know. But they're going to answer the question. They may say the colors of the animals are, they could be anything. They could be a brown, they could be dark brown, they could be a pink color, a tan color, you know, all different skin tones, right, that we would typically see on humans. Or they could say you can't see them through the feathers or something like that, and maybe think that we're on a ranch or something. And that would kind of tell that they are not at the location or they haven't figured it out yet. So there are a lot of different ways to play this game, and there are a lot of different theories into what makes, what are the good strategies for this game. I typically try to avoid asking yes or no questions. Those are obviously the worst. And if you're not a member of the team, you have the 50% chance of answering it correctly, right? So ask questions that are going to provoke a much larger response, and something that they'd have to really think about. There's actually a really cool mechanic built into the game that you can play with after you've played a couple turns without it, and that's using the rolls. So every location card will have a roll on it, and the roll is basically your job at that location. So if you were on the submarine, there may be a captain, there may be a periscope, a navigations person, there could be a janitor or something like that. So the questions that you answer could be as a result of answering from your particular role, your different opinion, which is a really cool way to play this game. People in my gaming group, this is a hit and a miss, depending on who I'm asking. There are a lot of people in my gaming group that really don't like the idea of the central mechanic behind this game of asking the questions. Getting put on the spot and asking the question, especially when you're playing with a time limit, it could be nerve-wracking for some people. It really could. Asking the right questions, coming up with the right questions to ask that don't make you look like a total bozo can actually be nerve-wracking for some people. So I've gotten a lot of negative stuff from this because of that they just weren't comfortable playing it. And that actually has had me thinking about this for a long time. It may not be a hit for everybody in your game group, and I think that's something you should consider before buying any game, or at least who you're playing it with. If you're playing with your family, or if you just want a game on yourself that you can bust out every now and then, Spyfall may be a great game for you. But if you're bringing this for a central group, and you think there's people on your team who get overly anxious, or may not be good at coming up with information on the fly, Spyfall may not be a good fit for them. However, if you have a bunch of devious people in your game group who are really quick-witted and able to think of things really fast, Spyfall will be a great game, I think, for that group. I think it retails for about $30, depending on where you're looking. Online, you may be able to find it for around $20, depending on where you're looking. I think Spyfall is a fun game, and it may be worth your money. I have no qualms with paying money for it, but there's some people who may not like it. And I think that's okay, right? Not every game can be loved by everybody. And Spyfall is definitely one of those games. There are so many very, very good games in that genre, and I don't necessarily know if Spyfall can quite compete in that genre. But it's definitely one worth checking out. If you haven't had a chance to actually purchase this game yet and you'd like to see it played, we actually played it on the LLU game night via spyfall.meteor.com and just Google Hangouts. So you could definitely do something like that as well. It is very mobile friendly. When we don't have something to play at the office on our lunch breaks, we'll pull out our cell phones, we'll set up a game of Spyfall, and we'll play the game that way. It could be quick, it could be not quick. It could be fun, and there are games we've played that felt like a complete waste of time. So I don't know if this is one for everybody, but I definitely wanted to give my 2 cents about it and let you know what I think about Spyfall. So if you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Most importantly, tell your friends, because that means so much to me when you guys do that. Hit me up on Twitter. Let me know what you think about this game, at Let's Level Up. Or comment in the video description below and let me know what you guys think about Spyfall. So until next time, again, thank you so much for watching this, and game on.